In woodworking, there's many different ways to approach a project, both in mindset and technique. I believe it's important for everybody to find the method that works best for them. So I've got a piece of walnut here. I pulled this from my stock behind me. I think it'll work well. It is a little bit rough. I'd say it's a little rougher than you'll typically find at a hardwood place. As you can see, the only place that's got any flat surface is the back. But I think this is a good example of how bad it can be. And I think anything will show up pretty nicely of what we're trying to achieve here, which is basically a flat surface. And of course, the reason why we want to join this is we want to get a consistent thickness. So in order to do that, we first have to have one clean face and one clean edge. Once we have that, we're going to take over the planer and run that through, and then we'll get that consistent thickness. Now, depending on how well you know your machine, the one thing that you should check on a regular basis is make sure that the fence is square to the outfeed table. Okay, before you mill, you want to check a couple things. Mainly, you want to identify the crown and the cup. I can see right now that this has a pretty distinct cup, and you want to make sure that the top of the cup is facing up. So just as you see it here, you want to put that down on the outfeed table. The same with the crown. The top of the crown facing up. And of course, always remember when you're pushing the board through, you're always going to want to focus on keeping the weight on the outfeed table. So you're basically going to be pushing with your right hand, and you're going to be holding up front down with your left hand. It's real important to always be keeping it flat on the outfeed table. All right, now we've found ourselves the planer. This is usually the second step in milling up your lumber. For those of you who aren't real familiar with a planer, this is basically a thickness planer. It'll take it down to the thickness you want. You always want to put the surface side down, the side that we just did on the joiner. If you're a little bit worried about taking off too much, the safest thing to do is sometimes just put it through, lower just a little bit so you hear it going. You can always run it through again, or even a third time. Just be careful not to take off too much at first, because you'll never get that back. Nothing helps you grow more than just getting out there and building something.